My wedding day was supposed to be the one day where nothing, absolutely nothing, could shake me. After years of family drama, favoritism, and being compared to my younger brother, I believed that at least this day belonged to me. But 3 weeks before the ceremony, everything started unraveling. One evening, my brother, Ryan, showed up at my apartment with a smirk that always meant trouble. "Hey man," he said casually, "mind if I propose to Emily at your reception?" My stomach dropped. I told him no, as gently as possible, but his face hardened instantly, like he couldn't process the idea of being denied anything. The next morning, there was pounding at my door. My parents, Karen and Mark, who were supposed to be in Italy, burst into my living room without even waiting to be invited in. Their expressions were sharp, furious, like I had personally betrayed them. "You're being selfish," my mother snapped. "Your brother wants one moment, one." When I refused again, something snapped in her. She started screaming, threatening to destroy my fiancée Lily's wedding dress. I warned her that if she did, I would press charges. She stopped crying instantly, like turning off a faucet, and went right back to yelling. That was the moment I realized it didn't matter what I said or did. I would always be the problem. Ryan would always be the favorite. When the wedding finally came, for a moment I truly thought we had survived the chaos. Lily looked breathtaking. The ceremony was perfect. My nerves settled. But then I saw Emily, Ryan's girlfriend, walk in wearing a bright white dress. I tried to tell myself it wasn't intentional. I tried to focus on Lily. And then, right as we were about to cut the cake, I heard a scream. "Yes! Oh my God, yes!" I turned around. Ryan was down on one knee, holding a ring. He slid it onto Emily's finger like he was starring in his own show. My heart dropped, but before I could react, the maid of honor tripped forward, the wine glass flew from her hand, and a wave of red wine splashed across Emily's white dress. The room froze. Emily gasped. Ryan's face twisted into rage. He stormed toward the maid of honor, accusing her of sabotaging the proposal, calling her disgusting names, screaming so loudly the DJ shut the music off. People began gathering, whispering. Lily clutched my hand, shaking. I stepped forward to calm my brother down, but he spun toward me instead. "You did this! You planned this!" he shouted. Before I could answer, he shoved me hard. I stumbled back, caught off guard, and instinctively shoved him back. That was all it took. We tangled, grabbing, shoving, swinging, like two kids fighting in a schoolyard instead of a wedding. Lily grabbed her phone and called the police. By the time officers arrived, the wedding was ruined. Guests were leaving with awkward apologies, and my brother and his girlfriend were escorted out shouting insults. The next morning, my phone exploded nonstop. It was my parents calling from Italy, where they had chosen to vacation instead of attend their son's wedding. They had already spoken to Ryan, and of course they believed every word he said. I explained what had actually happened, but it didn't matter. It never mattered. Then came the final straw. They demanded that I bail out Ryan, who had gotten himself arrested after arguing with the officers, and they wanted me to replace Emily's wine-stained dress, which she claimed was meant for their future wedding. When I pushed back, my mother acted shocked, like me defending myself was some kind of crime. I finally snapped. I told him how every Christmas Ryan got the expensive gifts while I received practical ones. How whenever he broke something, I got blamed because you're the older one. How they forced me to include him in everything, every hangout, every hobby, every moment, until I felt like I never got to have my own life. Silence. Then my father said coldly, "We're coming home. You clearly need guidance." They hung up on me. Fast forward to later that week. Lily and I pulled into our driveway just trying to reclaim one day of happiness, but standing in front of our house were my parents, my brother, and Emily, arms folded, faces twisted with entitlement. The moment we stepped out of the car, they started shouting demands. They wanted money for Emily's dress. They wanted an apology. They wanted us to fix the embarrassment we caused. Lily tried to explain everything calmly, but Emily stepped forward and insulted her viciously. She called my wife names I won't repeat. She accused Lily of being jealous of her looks, and then she claimed that Lily had ordered the wine spill on purpose. Lily's jaw clenched. After a long breath, she said quietly, "Fine. Yes, I told her to spill it." It felt like the world stopped for a second. Emily lunged at Lily. I jumped between them and pushed her away to protect my wife.
Ryan rushed in, swinging. My dad shouted he would call the police. By the time officers arrived, both Ryan and I were bruised and furious. They arrested both of us. In the back of the police car, Ryan sat beside me, laughing softly. "What's so funny?" I muttered. He turned toward me with cold, drunken clarity. "Want to know something? Mom and Dad never liked you because you're not theirs." My heart froze. He kept going. "Your dad's affair, baby. Your real mom dumped you. They didn't even want you. Grandma tried to convince them to put you in the system." A chill ran through me. My eyes, my looks, the lifelong favoritism, it all suddenly made sense in the worst possible way. I wanted to believe he was lying, but the way he said it, the certainty in his voice, hit too close to home. Amalanda bailed me out. Ryan stayed behind. On the silent ride home, I told Amalanda everything Ryan had said. "I don't know if I can ask them," I whispered. "I don't know if I want to know." She held my hand. "We face it together, whatever you choose." 3 years passed. My relationship with my parents never healed. They died unexpectedly in a car accident. I attended the funeral because it felt like the right thing. Ryan stood off to the side, strangely pleased, almost smug. Rumors later surfaced that he burned through his inheritance in record time. He and Emily started calling relatives begging for money. Meanwhile, my life finally began to bloom. Lily and I renewed our vows in a small garden ceremony filled with warmth and friends who actually loved us. A few months later, she held up a positive pregnancy test with tears in her eyes. "I'm ready," she whispered. "We're ready." For the first time in my life, I felt free. Free from favoritism, free from secrets, free from a family that never cared for me. When my brother eventually called asking to reconnect, sounding remorseful, I didn't answer. I blocked the number. My family wasn't the one I came from. It was the one I built. With Lily, with our baby, with peace.